Today we're going to make some drum beats using Reason, and we're going to create our own drum kit out of lots of different sounds. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is get a drum computer, the Redrum. Let's drag it into our rack. If you ever can't see the browser, just click the little circle here where it says browser. Okay, don't worry about all these knobs and buttons for the moment. We only need to know about a few of them. First of all, the little play icon, which is up here at the top of every different sound. This is what we can use to preview the sound. So if you click it, you can hear this is the bass drum, BD. This one here says SD, which means it's a snare drum. And this one here says HHCL, which means it's a hi-hat that is closed. Okay, so your first task is to bring in the Redrum computer and listen to the different sounds. Okay, now let's start to program a drum beat. This is the basic drum beat that we're going to do today. These are the beats, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then these keep on repeating again and again. We're going to use the two most important drums in the drum kit, which is the kick drum and the snare drum. The kick drum is going to go on the first and the third beat, and the snare drum will go on the second and the fourth beat. This is very standard, you hear this everywhere. So let's program that now. Here is where we program the beats. If we click one of these buttons, that means it will play whichever sound is selected. So if I click here and press play, it plays the kick drum when this little red light goes over this button here. It's split up in kind of a funny way. Each 4 of these buttons equals 1 beat. And you can see that there are these dark green rectangles which represent 1 beat here for every 4 buttons. So if I want to put the kick drum on beat 1 and beat 3, I will click number 1, then this is the second beat, then this is the third beat. So number 1 and number 9. Okay, then I'm going to put the snare drum on beat 2 and beat 4. So first we have to select the snare drum, and we can see that all the lights have gone out because now we're on a different sound. And we need to go to beat 2 and beat 4. So this is the first beat. Beat 2 starts here, and beat 3 we don't want it, beat 4 yes. So let's listen to that. Okay, so that's your first task. Make this drum beat by putting the kick drum on numbers 1 and 9 and the snare drum on numbers 5 and 13. Okay, now our drum beat is starting to sound a bit better, but we're missing one extra thing at the moment, which is the hi-hats. Hi-hats are there to keep the rhythm going. Okay, they're usually played faster than the other drums in the drum kit, and here we can see that for every beat there are 2 hi-hat hits. So let's go here, find the hi-hat, click select, and for every beat we want 2 evenly spaced hi-hat hits. So I'll put 1 at the beginning of the beat and 1 in the middle of the beat, and jump like that. So now here is our standard rock beat. So that should sound very familiar. It's a very standard rock or pop drum beat, and that's your next task, is to add the hi-hats. Okay, so now we've got our drum beat. We're going to change the sounds a little bit. In the list here, in the browser, there are all different kinds of kits. To change the kit, all you do is grab one and drag it on top of the Redrum. Now let's listen to the same beat but with different sounds. Okay, interesting. I'm going to take the house kit to see what that sounds like. Okay. Okay, I like that one. So your next task is choose a drum kit that you like and bring it into the Redrum computer. Okay, so now we've got our drum kit changed, we're going to change the individual sounds. So let's go to this little icon here. It's a little picture of a folder and it says Browse Sample. The sample is simply the little piece of audio. So let's click it, and in the browser you can see that you have all these different files that say BD, which as you know means bass drum. This is the one we've got at the moment. Okay, if you click these different ones, it will play automatically. Okay, I'm going to choose this one. When you've chosen one, just drag it into the section that you want it to go into, and it updates automatically. So let's listen to that. Nice, okay. Now let's choose a different snare drum. Oh, that's interesting. Let's give that a go. Okay, and let's choose a different hi-hat as well. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so your next task is to individually change all the different sounds that we're using, bass drum, snare drum, and hi-hat, to ones that you like and build your own drum kit. Okay, so now you have your own drum kit. You're going to make your own drum beat based on this rhythm here. So these are very important. The kick and the snare must stay in the same place, please. So how do we get a new drum beat on here? If you look here, there are 8 different buttons. Each one can contain a different pattern. So if we click the number 2, we can see that all of the lights disappear. So let's get our basic drum beat up and running again. So let's click the kick, 1 and 3. Click the snare, put that on 2 and 4. Get the hi-hats going. Actually, you can do what you want with the hi-hats. Let's just listen to that for the moment. So that's the basis of our drum beats. Now you can change it. So you can add extra different beats and experiment. Okay, and when you're happy with your drum beat, just go on to the next pattern and create another one. I want you to fill all these 4 pattern banks here with 4 different drum beats, all based on this idea here.